And welcome to Sin and Finn, the Dugout Decision Show.
Somehow it keeps getting worse. I don't know how, but the Jays bats are just completely dead. We thought we had something Tuesday night. Look at that comeback win. I thought maybe we're sparking something here. Think back to last year. We get that big Bo home run against the Rangers. That saved the season. Was this the game that was going to save the season? No, we scored 2 runs in the next 2 games. It was just completely horrible to watch. Bats were dead. Pitching unbelievable. I mean, where did that come from? Patrick Corbin masterclass today. But the moral of the story is, again, as we've been saying all year long, doesn't matter about the injuries. The bats that are on the field simply are not hitting right now.
I had so much hope after the first game. You just talked about it. Like, what a comeback against two really good relievers and Abner Uribe and Trevor McGill. Even Grant Anderson had like a 2.5 ERA out of nowhere. So,
Yeah.
uh, wicked game. Shout out to the first game. That was so much fun, and it was a roller coaster, really. Like it wasn't like we blew them out. We were down a few runs and then came back and had the lead, and then. We'll get to the guy who blew it here in a second, and then came back and won it off of a unlikely Miles Straw double, and just so much fun, so much hope, and just shattered. So we'll get right into that here with the series struggles, and no one else better to start this off with than a guy who's been in uh, like some tough conversations recently. Aiden may be coming for his head in a few seconds here, and it's Jeff Hoffman. Jeff Hoffman did not look good yesterday. He straight up just did not look good. Who cares about the 96, 97 if you can't locate the ball? And the splitter that's been great all year just was not it. And he had no command. He said that himself. He had nothing. And just thanks Louis for coming to his support. And Jeff Hoffman blew it yesterday. He blew it once again.
I mean, check the receipts. I'm pretty sure I gave him his praise after the Twin series, or it was after the Dodger series, whenever it was. I gave him his praise. I mean, he was looking good, right? The splitter was moving, he was locating, and then he went back to the Jeff Hoffman of old when the struggles were there in 2025. And what do you know? We lost a game that we shouldn't have, honestly. And or the Tuesday night actually game that we didn't lose, but he made it extremely stressful yet again. And of course, like you said, Louis came to the rescue. Even though I was giving him his praises last time when I mentioned that, I still am pretty sure said in the end, come back to me in August or September, or whatever, and let's make Louis Varland the closer. I mean, what do you know? The guy saved him. It feels like he's done this quite a few times this year. I don't think Louis Varland's given up a run yet. I think he pitched in all the games this series. It doesn't matter how many games he pitches in. He's going to locate. He's going to throw hard. He's going to have a good breaking ball. I don't know. He featured like a 95-mile-an-hour changeup today. I don't know. Like with the Jeff Hoffman thing, listen, I don't want any Jays players to perform bad. Okay. I'm not seeking that. I don't want them to play bad, but I'm just looking at what's on the field. And I think it's like a 4.32 ERA right now for Jeff Hoffman. And I know, think of the White Sox thing. Like I remember there was a White Sox play. They didn't call an error on Vlad, and then a run goes against Hoffman. Like, that's just not great. The same thing with the Dodgers. I'm pretty sure there was. I think it was the errant throw by Valenzuela that gets into right field. Run goes on Hoffman. Like, are all these runs really credited to Jeff Hoffman? I don't know. Should his ERA really be 2 instead of 4.32? I don't know. But if the stats say 4.32, it's not exactly what you're looking for out of a closer. And I think it's what we're at 3 blown saves. I think that's what it is right now. Again, is it all his fault? I don't know. But as a closer, when you have 3 blown saves, not exactly what you're looking for. Rest of the bullpen, I mean, relatively good. And we'll get to some guys who weren't doing so great. I know I'll keep talking great about Louis Varland. I still feel like that's a possibility that he could become the closer. But even, you know what? If he's not going to become the closer in the future, he's just the perfect guy that you put in high leverage. Doesn't matter where it is, eighth inning, seventh inning, ninth inning. He can be used at any point. And I guess that's the role they're going to leave him in for now. Keep trusting Hoffman until he has like a bad 5 game stretch because it's kind of just been iffy at this point. We're just not getting consistency out of Hoffman.
Yeah, and we won't look at the ERA. I'm sure the ERA isn't too pretty, but let's just look at what he's done so far. So Jeff Hoffman's been good this year. Like his stuff has looked a lot better, close to what it was last April. I think his stuff last April was better than this April, but he's up there. Like it's pretty close. And there's
Yeah.
been a lot of misfortune, a lot of just it wasn't on Jeff, and a lot of outings where it's just not on him, and it's just circumstance. Yesterday was on him. that was the first opportunity that he had to save the game, and just blew it. Like kind of him in the Dodgers series last year just didn't have
Yeah.
anything, just walking guys left and right. So uh, so yeah, I'm gonna stick with Jeff Hoffman because he's been solid. It's just been a lot of misfortune, and he had one bad outing. And you look at Trevor McGill. Trevor McGill sucked all year, so take him out of the closer spot. But Jeff Hoffman, no. Jeff Hoffman's had one bad outing, a few misfortune ones, and yeah. So I'm sticking with him. And then there was a lot of Twitter discourse out there like I want Louis Varland in this hybrid role because that is when you get the most high leverage is when you can just put this guy into spots like wherever, like seventh inning, bases loaded, one out, put him in there, something like that. Just those super high leverage things, high leverage outings. And then you have Jeff Hoffman for the ninth. I tend to agree. I've always thought why do bullpens' best pitchers play in the ninth if that's not the highest leverage. Because to me, if it's bases loaded, one out in the seventh, I think that's more high leverage than say what you get in the ninth. So
Yeah.
I tend to agree with that logic and like Louis Varland, who is our best reliever right now in that role, and then Tyler Rogers can be the setup guy and that kind of stuff. But I tend to agree with that. What's your thoughts on like leverage, and if you like Louis in that role, or you just want to slot him in the ninth every night?
I don't know because I'm just thinking of the closer thing, right? I'm thinking of the Hoffman thing, and like you're saying, if you want to use your best guy in leverage, and your closer is supposed to be your best reliever, why is he not used in that spot? I think back to a couple of years ago when I think Josh Hader was on the Padres. I think it was before he went to the Astros, and he just refused, absolutely refused to pitch in the eighth inning. The relievers are crazy. We think starting pitchers are crazy. Look at Max Scherzer, look at Chris Bassett. We've seen starting pitchers that are crazy, but I think relievers are too, and they're so routine oriented. They know what they're used to, and they're not comfortable pitching in situations they're not used to. Probably why you're not going to ever see Jeff Hoffman pitch in the sixth, seventh, or eighth inning. He's used to ninth inning. Stick him in that role. I feel like Louis is the only guy really that breaks that mold. He's really the only guy. This guy can start games. We saw that. Remember in the playoffs? I mean, the guy gave up. Remember that 3-run tank to Aaron Judge. The next day, we're putting you on the bump. You're starting the game. I mean, so he's the only guy that breaks that mold. As much as I keep saying that he should be the closer, I guess I see that logic in saying that he should just be used in the highest leverage. And really, he fits the mold because he's the only guy that can be ready like this. I mean, really, the guy takes no time to warm up, really doesn't need any any time beforehand to get ready. The guy needs what, an inning or so, and he's good to go. He can be told the day of, hey man, you're going to start the game today, go a couple innings. So yeah, I guess they're going to leave him in that spot unless, like I said, Jeff Hoffman has like 5 straight poor performances. Then maybe you try another guy in the closing spot. But like you said, it's not like that with Jeff Hoffman right now. He hasn't blown 6 games 3 weeks into the season with a 15 ERA. It's not like that. So I understand the logic. Keep him at the closer role, and yeah, I guess you just try it with Varland in whatever spot you like. Go into the offense though, and I know I had to bring this up because this is my guy that I went crazy on last episode. I mean, guys, it for those of you listening, it managed to get worse for Nathan Lucas. Okay, I don't know how. I just did this on the side right now, pulling up his stats. And remember, he had an 077 batting average last time we checked in with you after the Twin series. Yeah, it managed to get worse. The guy in the Brewer series, first of all, why was he leading off in Wednesday's game? Why? I mean, you have this guy called Davis Schneider. You have even like Miles Straw on the bench. Why is Nathan Lucas leading off? They tried it. I guess they figured, you know what? I don't hate it for one game. Try it. At least they learned the lesson Thursday. They didn't put him back in the lineup, period. He wasn't even in the lineup. It's now down to 065. And I said his OPS was about to drop below his weight. It's now 183. So it's dropped below 200. It has officially dropped below his weight. Hasn't picked up another RBI. Hasn't picked up another hit. And I don't know what's the leash at this point. Like I don't want to go too hard on the guy at this point, but like how low can the numbers go? It's almost a funny thing right now. Like, are we going to get below a .5 average? I don't know. I'll let you speak on it a bit because I'm just lost for words right now, man. With this guy, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, the at bats are not competitive at all, and that's the hard thing. That's something you watch from Nathan Lucas a lot last year was every at bat like he battled, and the Blue Jays broadcast has brought up multiple times that David Schneider's at bats are insane, and he just has like one of the highest pitches seen per plate appearance in the league, whatever. I'm sure Nathan Lucas was the same. Just it's not like turning like the outcomes just aren't there. He's not getting base
Horrible.
hits. They're just weak fly balls. And it's like he's not shooting the gaps, as I said before, shooting that second base shortstop gap that he used to pepper last year.
Yeah.
He just doesn't look like himself. Like no pop, no hard hits at all. And he's 0 for 23 in his last that's since his last hit. So I'm sure that
Oh,
goes back like 10 games. But I thought the idea and the logic of leading him off was interesting. I was like, okay, they probably see like he mashes cutters or mashes sinkers or whatever Chad Patrick throws. Like let's do it. What if he just like goes for 2 for 3, goes two for
no.
three and kind of shuts us up, man? And he was brutal yesterday. So it's like I get the matchup thing, and I thought it was kind of neat, like
Oh,
just the analytical side of things, but it's just like such a brutal watch right now. And Lenyn Sosa's got to take some of his plate appearances. Like
yeah.
it's bad right now. I don't even know what you do. I heard he has an option left. I
Yeah, he
didn't know
does.
he had an option. So you get guys calling for Johandrick Pinyango and who knows Sean Keys
I
and
mean, I don't know. Like RJ Shrek just hit a walk-off home run the other day. So like are we pulling the RJ Shrek card? I don't know. Maybe listen, I said that in the off season. I said for opening day, let's do that. I don't know. Do we put him in the outfield? If he has an option, I guess are you trying the Brendan Little strategy? That's what they did with Brendan Little, right? Like they sent him down. Still not looking great, but maybe that's where he has to figure it out. Because what is he providing at this point? I don't know. Like you want to keep giving this is the thing with guys and getting MLB reps. You want to keep giving them MLB reps so that they can improve. Like that's really the only way to do it. But if you keep giving him the opportunities and he's just simply not producing, how long is that leash? We're going to push into end of April here, and he has what 2 hits on the year? Nathan Lucas does. So I don't
Madison
know.
Barger has
Like
one. So
okay, I mean the guy's been injured. Like that's the thing. Like Nathan Lucas only has one more and he's been healthy. So I mean, it's just crazy how bad it is. Like I said, is it going to drop below a .5 average? I don't know. I don't want Miles Straw to be starting. To be honest, that's a good bench bat. I guess it's Davis Schneider in the immediate circumstance. Looking right now with where the roster is, where the lineup is, I guess it's just Schneider. And honestly, don't hate that. When you think of the defense, they're pretty much the same. They can both make highlight reel plays, and I think Schneider's made more of them. Honestly, he's looked pretty good out there. But the way they're hitting right now, of course, you're going to put Davis Schneider there. I guess at this point he resorts to a bench role, and if you send him down to AAA, like I don't know, is Tyler Fitzgerald coming back up? And by the way, why did we make that trade? I don't know. Is this the reason they just knew that Nathan Lucas wasn't going to hit, so they needed a backup option? I don't know, but the way it stands right now, Sosa's your second baseman and Schneider's your left fielder. I think that's the only way it goes.
yeah, and we'll get to Lenyn Sosa, my guy, later. Like I've been
Yeah.
impressed by him so far, and you get all these Twitter guys saying, "Oh, he can't hit the ball anyway. He can't hit the ball hard. Oh, he chases like crazy. It's your next Nathan Lucas." Lenyn Sosa rakes, okay. Anyways, we'll get to that after. The backup catching tandem. That's another thing. It didn't shine as bright as I feel like other series, and props to Brandon Valenzuela actually for playing what he did 5 games straight. Like
Yeah.
old guy Tyler Heineman's like back and spazzing out on the in the clubhouse. So I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on there, but Valenzuela had a pretty huge misplay yesterday after a series of unfortunate soft singles and infield hits and whatever that was yesterday. Brandon Valenzuela gets a ball and he doesn't attack this ball at home plate. He just lets it drop. Like he wants it to go foul. There was a guy on first. And so he lets it drop. And then I saw this interview Sal Frelick had, and he said that the ball dropped in water because the
Oh.
roof had leaks
Oh
and
my
it
God.
was raining like crazy. So he said the ball just completely like didn't move after it hit
Oh
the
my
water.
God.
And if that's Blue Jays luck in 2026, I don't know what is, man. And and so yeah, so I heard that, thought that was crazy, but it's just a play that you got to make, and it's definitely one of the reasons why we lost yesterday's game.
So give Mark Shapiro and Ross Atkins their flowers for building the Rogers Center the way they did, because I don't think that's ever happened. I don't think we ever get rain coming into the stadium. That's crazy. I remember seeing it on the broadcast. It was pouring in there. Okay, and I know they were calling for tornadoes and thunderstorms and all that. Listen, Toronto, we've been talking about it gets horrible weather. I don't think there's ever been any cracks through that roof. So props to Mark Shapiro for building the Rogers Center like that. But speaking of the play, I mean, like you said, it's 5 days straight for a rookie. He had the Dodgers error that he made prior, and I think he made one other error. Listen, the pop time looks great. I know he had to strike him out, throw him out with Dylan Cease earlier.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. The other thing, too, with the framing and with the ABS stuff, he's looked a little iffy on that because he'll have one where he'll tap his head in like the third inning and then he doesn't get the call right and then he doesn't want to do it again. He's quite fearful of tapping the helmet again when you have one challenge left. And there were a couple of times there where he could have helped out Cease and some of the relievers later in the game, but because he wasted one of the challenges earlier in the game, now he's a little fearful to use it. So just again, having that confidence with the strike zone, knowing where the pitches are, using the ABS system, being confident in the field, this is all stuff we have to work on. I mean, again, the guy's been up for what, a week, just over a week. To think he's playing 5 games in a row, as if we didn't need another injury now. Thank you, Tyler Heineman, with the back spasms. Like you said, it's just the Jays' luck. Like at this point, how can you help that kind of stuff? I don't know. With the bat, again, we're not going to expect anything offensively. I think Valenzuela had one hit in the series, maybe a couple like weak singles. That's all the Jays were really doing, honestly. He was just doing what everyone else was doing. But it's stuff we're going to have to live with. Of all the problems the Jays have right now, yes, Valenzuela's defense isn't really the greatest right now, but it's really not one of our main priorities in terms of problems. The bats are something that really need to get going, and that's not on him. We're not expecting that guy in the 9 hole who's expected to be the backup to the backup catcher to really be providing anything offensively. So, yes, it is a concern for me, but it's not really a glaring concern. We're just going to have to deal with it. Okay, guys, like Kirk is going to be out until what, end of May, probably, if he's lucky, because they say 6 weeks. But I remember, like you said last time, and I'm glad you pointed it out for people not realizing it's not 6 weeks until he's back. It's 6 weeks until he's probably cleared to do baseball activities, right? Then he's got to go through a rehab process and, get back to single A and then maybe get to triple A and then come back. Like, are we pushing middle of June? I really hope not. But whatever it is, the time that we have to deal with these guys, we just have to deal with it. Don't expect anything offensively from Heineman or Valenzuela and just hope they can just do their job adequately defensively. That's all you can hope for.
Yeah, and you just wish they would produce something. Like Tyler Heineman showed flashes last year of like him offensively, and
Yeah.
I think all of us Jays fans knew that he wasn't like a 350 hitter, but
Oh my God, no.
just like give us something. And Valenzuela did have a hit yesterday, but I mean, if Heineman was swinging the bat, and obviously he got hurt, not on him, but if he was swinging the bat, he wouldn't have put the bunt down today to score the run. A safety squeeze there. Maybe
Yeah.
he would have hit. Maybe he got a hit. Maybe it starts a big inning. We win the game. So just things like that.
Yeah.
But they're just not getting hits right now, and it's tough. But shout out to Valenzuela for going that many games in a row. That's pretty
Yeah.
insane. And then moving on to a guy who like didn't have a huge part in the series, but it's Tommy Nance. Tommy Nance had a bit of a struggle when he came in the middle of an inning today, and just he got out of it. But then he came out in the next inning, walked the guy, and like if you look at his stat line box score, you'll think it's the same as like Tyler Rogers yesterday. It's not in my head, okay? Because once he walked this guy, Aiden, I knew they were going to score a run. I just knew it. It's the impending
Yeah.
doom of Tommy Nance.
Yeah.
So it's just tough because like you walk the guy. It's Garrett Mitchell. How scary is Garrett Mitchell? Like I'm not terrified of Garrett Mitchell. And
No.
then I think the guy they called up for Yelich or something. I forget his name. Like I've never heard of this
Greg
guy before.
Jones.
Mike
Yeah.
Jones. Mike
No,
Jones.
Greg Jones. Greg Jones.
Greg Jones. Oh, Yankees
Yeah.
legend, I think. Greg
Yeah.
Jones. Bunts. And then the other guy bunts. And then another guy bunts. Like
I,
three bunts in a row. And that kind of ties into the other point here, which is soft contact defense. Like mixed with today's Tommy Nance outing of just soft contact and the impending doom and allowing that run to score is Tyler Rogers' inning yesterday. Tyler Rogers did a great job yesterday. He was excellent.
yeah.
Got a bunch of soft contact. That's what he does best. But these little devil Brewers, man, that was such a hard watch. If you looked at like their spray chart yesterday, it
Oh
was
my
all the
God.
infield. It was brutal. So our soft contact defense was rough too, and like I heard bunts are up like crazy this year, which is kind of nuts. The Yankees struggled with it against the Rays. Boy, the Rays abused that against the Yankees.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing here. Like they bunted like crazy yesterday. They still bunted today. And that really led them to 2 wins. So soft contact defense was another point that stuck out to me this series.
Like I think it was Tuesday night, like the Okamoto play coming right in front of Jimenez.
Oh,
Like, dude,
yeah,
Jimenez is right there. We talk about all the struggles Okamoto's having offensively, and yes, those are probably expected. We want him to get something going, but he's not the only one. The defense was something he was being at least half decent at to begin the season, but they'll have a ball go through his legs. You'll have that error happen. Like, just know where your shortstop is. Know not only where your shortstop is, but it's kind of like a platinum winner, platinum defensive winner at shortstop. Not even just a gold glover, a platinum glove winner. And he's right there, ready to make the play. And you just come. Like, I know that's the right play for a third baseman. If you're charging towards the ball because your momentum's taking you to first base, cut it off. But know the positioning of where your other defenders are and know who actually the defender is in Andres Jimenez. That's just one of the plays. One guy I want to give props to, though, because when they switched the positions around and put Ernie at third, I think it was for yesterday's game, dude, his hands are crazy quick. I mean, we talk about the soft defense not being great, and granted, for the most part, it wasn't. But I just want to give a shout out to Ernie, who I think won a Gold Glove last year and at the util position, should do it again this year. I don't remember exactly when the play was, middle of the game, later in the game. I just know he had a play where, again, like you said, the Devil Brewers, a little infield single, something like that. And I swear he got the ball out of his hands in like 0.5 seconds. So just shout out to him for being real quick.
I think
Always
it was
been real
Gary
quick.
Sanchez in like a high leverage moment, and
Yeah.
Gary's just like, oh, but he just
Yeah.
got it out of his hands like extremely quick, and he's really
Exactly.
good at those kind of plays.
And you know what? For the people saying that, oh, well, if it was on our side, if the Jays were playing the Brewers style of baseball, we would love it because you know what? We're winning baseball games. Listen, man, I don't know that I would enjoy it, honestly. If this is the way that we were winning baseball games, yeah, I'd love to see the wins go on the board because we're losing a lot of baseball games right now. But this is also why the Brewers never go anywhere in the playoffs. Like they're winning the division every single year. We'll get like 95 wins. Where does it go? Like easy 4 game sweep to the Dodgers last year. Didn't stand a chance. Otani has that great game. They don't stand a chance. Like, yes, it's fun to play this scrappy brand of baseball, but it's incredibly annoying to watch. And it really doesn't get anywhere winning wise. It's not really sustainable. Like the Rays do it as well. You know, the Guardians do it. Are these teams that ever really go anywhere? Like, just think about it in the playoffs. Did these teams ever really win anything? I know the Rays got close in 2020, but like, let's be real. These are not the teams that go far. So that's what's just so frustrating to watch. Like you said today and yesterday, all the bunts. This is what they're good at, the bunting and the stolen base. This is what they're good at. And it's incredibly frustrating to watch. A lot of it is not on your pitcher, which just sucks. Tyler Rogers didn't have an earned run coming into this series, and now he has an earned run because of all their bunts and all their little shenanigans. Genuinely, did they hit a ball harder than 60 miles an hour? No, like William Contreras had a single to right field. That might have been like 90. I don't know. But
Yeah.
aside from that, everything is like 50 or 60 off the bat, and it doesn't leave the infield, like you said. And when the defense isn't 100%, the way it is most of the time, yeah, you're going to end up with 2-1 scores. And I mean, it's just so frustrating. We'll get to the pitching and some of the starting pitchers who were great in this series, but when you have those sorts of leads, and when the offense is not able to contribute, that might be the most frustrating brand of baseball to watch, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just so frustrating because I say soft contact defense. Is there anything you can really do about those hits? Probably not. Like they're just
Yeah.
in a dead zone of the
Yeah.
infield where you can't do much and it just sucks. Like and their bunts are insane. Like this is the best bunting team I've ever seen. It was Joey Ortiz today, just completely deadened the ball. Like this is a like probably like 90, 95 mile per
Yeah.
hour. It's Joe Mantiply. It's like 85 actually. So, but just completely deadens the ball. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So props to the fundamentals because I don't think we could bunt that well. Like just I think we would mess up a few times.
Yeah.
I just don't think we can play that
Oh, yeah.
kind of baseball that the Brewers and the Rays are playing. So props to those guys, even though it's extremely frustrating watch and to play against. And then the next one, all about our offense. Back to the offense. It's John Schneider talked about it in his press conference after the game today. And if you guys saw that, he mentioned that the team just needs more extra base hits. You need Vladdy to hit more home runs. Brandon Sproat had Vladdy in hell
Oh
today.
my
Oh my
God.
goodness.
Horrible.
So just more extra base hits. They had some homers. They had some homers this series. It was Andres Jimenez, I think, in the first game off Jacob Mizorowski, and I think it was Dalton Varsho as well against
Yeah.
Miz. But after that, did we really hit any home runs? I can't
No.
remember. So
No.
off the Miz, and then nothing else. Nothing off Chad Patrick or Brandon Sprout. So I agree with him. You need doubles. You need homers. That's just quick, easy offense. And when you're like knocking like 5 hits a game, that's what you need. You need one of those to be
Yeah.
extra base hits. So I agree with John Schneider, and let's see if that happens in the next series against the D-backs.
I mean, I don't really want to say this, but like Captain Obvious, what else is he going to say? Truthfully, what else is the manager of the team going to say when his players on the field are not hitting? There's nothing else you can say but like wake up. Like that's what we're gonna call this episode. Like let's get the bats going because they're kind of not going right now. Game two was what you get first inning. Jesus Sanchez sack fly. I think Vlad gets a single. Dalton Varsho walked, and somehow they bring in a run on a sack fly. I think that's how that happened. And then again, what happened today? How did they get the run? A Heineman bunt. Tyler Heineman bunt. That's the only way you can get a run. Zero. And okay, this is where I want to do the talk about the injuries. Okay, we have, yes, George Springer gone, injured. Addison Barger gone, injured. Alejandro Kirk. Yes, very integral parts to this offense, no doubt. Those are guys that, again, I said Addison Barger could add 30 home runs to this team. George Springer could still be an 800, 850 OPS guy, leadoff guy. Kirk is probably your cleanup hitter. Yes, it's going to be tough to score runs when those guys are out. Vladdy, I mean, this is our $500 million man. We talk about how well Davis Schneider's been swinging the bat. Dalton Varsho was heating up a little bit there. He had like 3 straight games with a home run, hits one off Mizorowski. We're thinking, there we go. Jesus Sanchez, the guy is hitting cleanup all the time now. Traded him for Joey Loperfido. Like there are guys at the top of the lineup that are supposed to be producing. The bottom of the lineup, to be honest, is doing pretty good. Andres Jimenez and Ernie are swinging pretty good right now. They're making good contact. What is the top of the order doing, especially in the past 2 games? Think of just the last 2 games. Like Brandon Sprout and Chad Pratchett were eating you up for dinner. Like, really? Of all guys? Now, listen, I didn't know, to be honest, that Brandon Sprout was going to be throwing 98. I didn't really know what kind of velo he had. But, like, still, come on. How did we put up all those runs off Mizorowski? Like, I thought, and I remember when we did our preview, we said, okay, that's the game we can chop up. We're going to lose that one because how are we going to hit the guy that throws 103? No, we can hit the guy that throws 103, but we can't hit Chad Patrick. Like, it's just typical Jay stuff that's just so frustrating to watch. The top of the order is just not doing it right now. Extra base hits, like you said, did we even have any in games 2 and 3? I don't know. Like Vlad is scorching the ball sometimes, but it'll be like 1 out of every 5 at bats. He'll hit the ball 120 miles an hour, but it's a single or a double. Like, can we just lift the ball a little bit? I don't know. Like Varsho, he's just gonna swing out of his shoes a couple of times, and then he'll click for a home run, and then he'll strike out another 5 times. Like, it's just that inconsistency. We can't at this point. We had that stretch, okay? Everyone was sick, everyone was injured. That was the excuse. We can't use that excuse anymore. Like honestly, I don't think we can do it. If the Brewers were putting up 15 runs because our pitching sucked, yeah, I might still be using that excuse. Patrick Corbin diced. Gave you everything he had today. I don't even think he threw 80 pitches and you got you through what, 5 2/3? That's electric stuff from Patrick Corbin, the way he pitched the first time out against the Twins, and you give him nothing. Like I thought Kevin Gosman was the guy we don't give run support. Did we flip that narrative? I don't know. We gave him some run support Tuesday, but that's what's so frustrating. The pitchers finally clicked and the bats go immediately dry. Like it's just we're pressing these buttons. Why can't we have all the buttons, bullpen, offense, starting pitching going at the same time? We can. We just I don't it's a Jays thing. We can't do it. I don't know why. It's frustrating to watch.
It's just baseball. It's just baseball.
Yeah.
There will be times like the Yankees. I don't even know if any of them are clicking right now. Like the bullpen starting pitching.
Yeah.
Milo Duvall is just giving up meatballs
Oh
to
my
Mike
god, that
Trout
guy
every
was
other day. So,
horrible.
anyways. Moving on to series standouts. We got some standouts here. Some with the major league squad, some with the minor league squad. To just
That's where
jump
we're at.
into some
Yep.
prospect talk because we're prospect guys here. The first one is starting pitching. Starting pitching was incredible. Here, let me do the math here. So this is 16 and 2/3 innings for starting pitching, and they gave up 6 runs. That is incredible. It may not sound like super incredible, but it really is
It is.
incredible. So Kevin Gausman to start 5 innings, 3 runs, 5 Ks. This Brewers team doesn't strike out a lot. We realized that because when Dylan Cease was pitching, and boy did Dylan Cease look good. Like Dylan Cease's fastball
Yeah.
man, he was like on his 100th pitch throwing 100, and you're like,
Yeah,
oh, this is crazy, man. This is nuts. So Dylan went 6 innings, which good length. That's what we like. A lot more. Like he just looked good overall. Fastball, slider,
yeah,
curveball, everything looked good. He was clicking. 6 innings, two earned, 6 Ks, and then our ace Patrick Corbin in the last game here went 5 and 2/3, gave up a run, 6 Ks. That's a very similar stat line to Dylan Cease when you look at it.
yeah,
If you got one more out, that's like, well, it's a better outing when you look at the stat line, which is
yeah. It
crazy.
would be.
So this starting pitching was incredible. And in every episode we talked about Gosman Cease, awesome, whatever, cool. Like that's the standout every time. It just is. And
Yeah.
nice to see another guy who isn't the top two being there. So Patrick Corbin, props to you. Welcome to the team. And yeah, just great overall for the starting pitching. But as you said, no run support.
Like again, is Patrick Corbin going to be around here for more than maybe a month? I don't know. Like we talked about it last episode, Trey Savage just pitched for Buffalo and looked pretty good in the 4 or 5 innings he got there. He's going to be back, and probably the subsequent move is just get Patrick Corbin out of the rotation. Like let's be honest, I don't think we're kicking unless Eric Lauer, and we're going to get to him because he's going to start against the Diamondbacks. Unless he gives up like 15 runs, then maybe you're gone and we keep Patrick Corbin in the rotation. I don't know, but I think the obvious next move is Savage is going to come back. Corbin's gone. So appreciate him while he's here. Like, thanks for your service. Didn't really do a whole lot because, like you said, he's not even picking up the win. And that's what sucks, especially for a guy like Cease, the way he pitched. And obviously, Gosman, we got him the win. But especially a guy like Cease and Corbin, these last two, the way they pitched and they don't end up with the win. Like, Dylan Cease doesn't have a win this year. I looked at that. I thought there's no shot. Dylan Cease does not have a win this season. No decision in every outing he's had. 4 outings, hasn't even picked up a loss, which I guess that helps. But we can't even get this guy a win. Really? Finally, like you said, gave you the length. Finally threw what 106 pitches, 6 innings, and I think the stat was too. He broke the franchise record for most 99 mile-an-hour plus fastballs in a single game with 9. I mean, like we talked about all offseason, we're not used to seeing this stuff. Nate Pearson, thank you for your service, but that didn't really go anywhere. Jordan Romano, I guess, in the bullpen, but most 99 plus fastballs in a single game. It's fun to watch. Like, yes, you're going to have those frustrating at bats. The 9 hitter, and he's going to give him a 4 pitch walk. Yes, that's tough to watch. But again, like I said, if you're going to get, I know they said this last episode, if you're going to get 5 or 6 innings from Dylan Cease, strike out 7 or 8 batters, throw 100 pitches, fine. And he's the durable guy that can do that. Like, just imagine Dylan Cease didn't have to get into a 3-1 count every single time. This guy might be the Cy Young, honestly. Because if he were to do that, he wouldn't need to waste so many pitches like he does and end up at 100 pitches through 5 innings, and he could go 7 or 8. That's it. Like literally, that's the only problem. This guy misses barrels because he throws so hard and has such a great arsenal now working with the pitching staff. It's just that he gets into bad counts pretty much with every batter. I don't know how many times in the game you're going to see Dylan Cease go up 0-2, which sucks. But again, this is the standouts part of the pod. We want to be optimistic here. 6 innings, 106 pitches, and what the 2 earned runs he gave up to a pesky Brewers lineup. You'll take that every day of the week. Patrick Corbin, again, thank you for your service. And the bullpen, for the most part, we talked about a couple of guys that didn't do great, Hoffman and Nance today, obviously. For the most part, good. Braden Fisher looked okay. I know he hung a curveball and Gary Sanchez sent it 500 feet to left field. Okay, but he's been good again to start the year. Louis, dog out of the bullpen. Joe Mantiply. I mean, like, I guess this is our lefty out of the pen now, throwing 82, but it works. I don't know. Like, the bullpen, for the most part, in combination with the starting pitching, is great. You mentioned what, like 16 innings from the starters? 4 runs. 4 runs in the last 2 games, and we can't win even one of them. Like, I'm not even going to be greedy now to say, why didn't we sweep the series? Easily, that was a series we should have swept. You couldn't get one. Like, just one of those games, and then you win a series. Man, like, it's tough right now. We haven't won a series since March. It feels weird to say that, but like, we haven't won a series since March when we swept the A's. And what happened there? The pitching was working and the bats were working. Surprise, surprise. Kind of a recipe for success. So just tough to see right now. Pitchers are going crazy right now, but the bats are just not there to support them.
Yeah, and I mean there's some bats that are doing okay right now. It may not be the guys you give $500 million to, but it's it's these three guys right here. Lenine Sosa, David
Yeah.
Schneider, Miles Straw. They stood up in
Yeah.
the series that they all had their moments. So Lenine Sosa, we haven't talked about much on the podcast. We acquired him for Jordan Rich, 18-year-old outfielder and a player to be named later, or cash
Sure.
considerations. And okay, like what are we acquiring here? Are you going to get DFA'd when Barger comes back? What's going on here? The White Sox didn't want you because they called up Antonacci. So let's see what you got here. And so he makes his debut with the Blue Jays in game one, not in the lineup, but as a pinch hitter
Yeah.
has an awesome hit. This is a huge hit, a very difficult at bat against one of the best relievers in the game here. It's Abner Uribe, the closer for the DR. Like this guy's
Yeah.
legit, man. This guy's
True.
legit. He emotes like crazy after he gets a save, and it's nuts. So he had a hit. It was a fastball 99 in on the hands, just hits it straight up, and gets on first. And then it's not only that for me, but it's what happened after. It's Dalton Varsho up next, and he hits a gapper. It looked like a single, whatever. Whoa, Lenine Sosa! I didn't know he had speed like that. Goes first to third here, just gets there in time. And then what else happens? It's Dalton Varsho moving from first to second, and then it's second and third with nobody out against one of the best relievers in the game. I think you're down by two at that point, 4-2 in yesterday's game. So that was really the highlight from Lenyn Sosa in this series, and I want to see more of him. I like this, and he also had good defense. Like guys were dogging on him because they were saying he's the worst defender you've ever seen. But I mean Lenyn Sosa looked fine to me out there. Uh, did all that he was dealt, and then Davis Schneider clutch RBI double against Uribe as well in game one, and then Miles Straw with a huge double in extra innings against Grant Anderson to really give you some insurance there because and boy we needed it thanks to Kaz Okamoto. We
Yeah.
really needed those insurance runs there in the extras. So those are three bats just did doing a solid job for the Blue Jays right now. Not big names, but uh, doing their jobs.
Yeah, like again, we're not expecting Miles Straw to be in the starting lineup at any point, and he's going to go 3 for 4 every day. But huge. It's the clutch hitting, it's the timely hitting, and this is what the story was of the 25 team. It didn't matter what the situation was or who was up at the plate. Someone was going to come through at some point, and it was Miles Straw on Tuesday. And if he's going to do that, say once a week, twice a week, great. That's all we need to get out of Miles Straw. The Sosa thing, though, not exactly the same because it's not going to be like Miles Straw where he's just coming off the bench and going to be a defensive replacement. They said to him when he came here on Tuesday or Monday, whenever they made the trade, like expect regular playing time. He's going to be in the lineup. Honestly, not something I expected. And the reason I didn't is because they just brought in the guy Tyler Fitzgerald. Like again, what I know we said this off pod. Like, why did they make that trade? The guy was immediately optioned before he could even get in at bat. But I thought, okay, like they're both second basemen. They're both kind of mad defensively, have some potential with the bat, but not a whole lot. But no, it's a totally different story with Sosa compared to Fitzgerald. This guy had 22 home runs last year with I think like a 770 OPS, something like that. Good. I mean, we'll take that. I don't think we're going to expect that again just because where's the regular playing time going to be once Barger and Springer and all those guys come back? I don't think he's going to hit 20 home runs again. But while he's here, until those guys come back, sure. I mean, he's going to get a couple hits a week. And listen, I thought he hit one out. I don't know if it was Wednesday's game. It might have been Patrick pitching. I thought he had one out. I mean, it looked close. The exit velos are there. I mean, you can see this guy hit a ball 110 off the bat, easy. He can shoot the gaps a little bit. The base running, a little funny there, a little bit questionable, but if he's got wheels, I guess we'll test it a little bit. Okamoto too. At some point, I know was
True, that
rounding the
is true.
bases and extras. Like, is he a speed demon now? I don't know. The guys are just running crazy, but I'll take it. I'll take it from Lenyn Sosa. I don't know what we're really going to expect out of him going forward, but in the time he's going to be here while those guys are hurt, I don't mind it at second base. I think he's a good replacement.
Yeah, and talk about Kazuo Komodo. We thought he'd be a contact guy when he came, but actually, when he came to Toronto, he's now a defensive guy and a pinch runner, it seems. So,
I guess.
interesting development there. And then we talked about Louis V before and his impact in game one. He's been incredible to start the season and save Jeff Hoffman, and he owes him a
Yeah.
steak dinner there. Any more with Louis? I think we kind of gave him his own
Yeah.
due.
I think we touched on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then here we go. The MLB pipeline. We're diving into the
Here
system
we
here.
go.
Okay, we don't usually dive into the prospects, but we're in dark times right now. I think we're 4 games under 500, and we need
Yeah.
something. We need something to be excited about. 18-year-old Juan Sanchez is skipping the Florida Complex League. Whoa, whoa, and he's going to Single A, Low A, the Dunedin Blue Jays. which is where JoJo Parker is, and they're just going to move right up the system together, and it's going to be beautiful. And talk about JoJo Parker. Man, he sucked his first few games with Dunedin. He sucked. But since then, I don't know what he's done since then, but his total stats on the season, 257 batting average. Okay, okay. I'm sure it's a lot better since your cold streak to start the season. 900 OPS. We're calling him up right now. We need that 900 OPS with the Blue
Yeah.
Jays. 10 RBIs and then a walk-off walk yesterday because I think like there's 30 walks a game in low A. Like I'm sure the pitching
Bad.
is just egregious, but
Yeah.
uh, awesome. That's kind of fun. Am I going to be tuning into more Dunedin Blue Jays games this year than Toronto Blue Jays games? That's a
Oh
great
boy.
question. That's a great question. So I don't know, just something fun to talk about and a fun little story you can keep your eyes on. And they won't debut for another like
Oh no.
decade, but it's fun.
Feels like it. Yeah. I mean, these guys are 18, 19, like you said, right? So it'll be a couple years, but I guess they're taking over what, like the Arjun Namala talk. Like, these are the new guys now. Like, sorry, you had your time, but like, these are the new guys. I'm seeing the pictures go around on Twitter. Like, this is the new Bo and Vlad when they were coming up through the system. We might have been a little young when they were coming up. You know, we might have been like 11 or 12 when they were coming up, and they were 18, 19 coming through the system. But we're seeing it now. We're experiencing it now. We're going to see these guys, like you said, skip the Florida Complex League and go all the way from single A, work their way. Do they get to double A soon? I don't know. Like the way they're going to swing it. Again, we haven't seen Sanchez yet, but I'm assuming the way,
Double A.
I mean, the way JoJo Parker's swinging it right now, like you said, we could use that 900 OPS in the MLB.
True.
Surely they could use that in Double A as well. So we're going to see them go through the different leagues. I'm not going to expect these guys to be in Triple A by the end of the year. Okay, I mean that's crazy. Probably, if we're being honest, they might finish the year Vancouver if they're lucky because that's high A. Maybe they get to that point and then they can play with Arjun Amal in Vancouver. But it's cool to see. Like you said, the way we're playing right now, at least it's a bright spot in the system. We're not going to see them until what, 2028, 2029, if we're lucky when they're 21, 22 years old. But it's a story at least because it feels like it's been a couple of years now where we really had a solid prospect come through the system. Like, yes, we had Trey Savage, but it was just so quick that we saw him come to the league, right? Like instantly draft the guy, boom, you're pitching in the World Series. We're going to see the development of these guys for a couple of years because listen, if JoJo Parker's in the big league roster by the end of this year, something must have gone horribly wrong. We're just playing all the prospects. Okay, it's gonna be like 24 all over again. But I'm not expecting that to happen. We can watch the development of these guys, and I don't know. In the coming weeks, maybe we're gonna watch more Dunedin games than we are Jays games. That's just kind of how it feels right now. We can watch Brendan Little pitch in AAA a little bit, and we can watch JoJo Parker swing it in single A. I guess that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, and just looking at what's next, looking at the forecast, not only is it 23 and sunny every day here in St. Catharines, but we are facing the Arizona Diamondbacks in the next series, and that has Mike Soroka, Canadian legend. Uh, Props to the guy. Like the guy's battled through, I think, two torn Achilles, which is like awful. Wouldn't wish that on anyone. And so
Yeah.
it's Mike Soroka in the first game against Eric Lauer. If Eric Lauer is still sick, I don't know what's going on
Oh
here.
God.
So I I, I don't I don't know. I better see
Yeah.
some 92, 93 bombs tomorrow. And then Zach Gallen, Max Scherzer in Saturday's game. And that's kind of fun, I guess. And then Kevin Gausman and Ryan Nelson Sunday's game. So the D-backs, they got Ketel Marte, they got Corbin Carroll. Like this is a step up
Yeah.
from the Brewers, in my opinion. But when you look at their bullpen, I think their bullpen is like generationally bad. Like
It's
like
horrible.
I think their closer is Paul Sewald right now, and
Yikes.
yeah, he should be in a retirement home. But that's crazy. And then their like setup guys are I
Ugh.
think it's the guy who killed George Springer last year, the guy with Baltimore.
Oh
Forget
my God.
Cade Stroud, I
Stroud.
think got
Oh my God.
traded to Arizona. So should be a fun series. Hopefully we get a few games in this one. I don't know. I don't even know what the predictions, man. Uh I'll say lose two out of three. Like I if not sweep because these are the three best pitchers I think the
Yeah.
D-backs have to offer right now. Soroka's been incredible, but I think also Eduardo Rodriguez has been incredible. So I don't know.
Yeah. True.
I'll say they lose two out of three, and just more of the same. I don't see anything changing. The Lauer Scherzer dynamic is it could be like awful. but Gosman in there gives me hope.
Yeah, you're right. Like making a prediction, I'll look at the Sunday game and think I feel pretty confident in that. Kevin Gosman going up against that lineup, like you said, aside from Marte and Carroll, I know they have some other guys. Perdomo and Arenado looked horrible to start the year in that lineup, and I don't know, like 50-year-old Carlos Santana's in there, but Kevin Gosman against that lineup, I feel okay. And then you know what? I said 1 out of 3 against the Brewers. I'm going to go 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks.
Whoa.
We need to have a little bit of hope here. And basically, what I'm asking for, if I'm saying I feel good about that Kevin Gosman start, one of Lauer or Scherzer, please, just one of you. Can we get like 5 innings, 2 runs, 3 runs, something like that? That's all we need. You don't need to be perfect. That's putting a lot of stress on the pitchers. And then can the bats just wake up? Like surely Mike Soroka is not going to have like a 3 ERA the entire year. This guy hasn't been good since like 2018. Surely at some point the bats can come through. That's all I'm hoping for. Just get through to one of these guys, Soroka or Gallon, I guess. Like Gallon hasn't been great. Like he gets like 2 strikeouts every outing. He's throwing like 90. Like he hasn't really looked great. There's a reason the guy didn't get a deal in the offseason. Okay, and ended back on the Diamondbacks. So that's my hope. Play well in the Sunday game with Kevin Gosman on the mound. Find a way. Figure it out. I don't care if it's Lenine Sosa off the bench, pinch hit home run in the 9th inning, whatever it is. Tyler Fitzgerald gets called up from AAA and steals home and wins a game. Whatever it is, find a way, get one of those games with Lauer and Scherzer, and find a way to take 2 out of 3. That's where I'm at with it. For those of you that have stuck through it, because it's a tough time right now, we're 4 games under 500. Don't panic. The AL East sucks right now. Okay, the Yankees suck. The Orioles suck. The Red Sox suck. They're all losing series to bad teams. So don't panic yet. Stick through it and check in with us when we talk to you after the Diamondbacks game. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment your thoughts down below, and we'll check in with you then.